Hey, what's going on? It's Jacob. In this video, I'm going to give you a detailed training on how I've managed to use email marketing as a key part of my online business. Over the last 2.5 years, I've taken it from absolutely nothing, from scratch, to multiple six figures, and email marketing has been absolutely critical to making that happen. Email marketing has allowed me to travel to places like Nashville and collect trophies for winning affiliate contests, travel to places like Orlando and get given diamond rings for winning affiliate contests. Email marketing is incredibly powerful, and I've held nothing back in this training that I'm going to walk through with you today. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top free and paid methods so you can start adding hundreds and hundreds of targeted leads to your email list that you can then sell to and keep making money. Some really little known hacks to improve your email open rate, your click-through rates, and your sales, and the strategies that I've used in order to get the maximum amount of profit out of my email marketing list. Rookie online business owners and rookie affiliate marketers focus on the front end, whereas professionals and people that make consistent money from their online business focus on monetizing and optimizing the back end, which includes their email sequence, in order to get maximum profit and maximum value from their advertising spend and from their organic traffic efforts. So if you want to learn the secrets of how to use email marketing in order to grow your business, hit the six-figure mark or the multiple six-figure mark, stick around with me till the very end in this training and you are going to learn everything that you need to know. If this is your first time here on the channel, I would invite you to click that big red button and subscribe, and click the little bell icon so you get notified every time I drop a new training. I've got tons of content coming down the pipeline helping you build your online business, do affiliate marketing, make money online, work from your laptop, do all that kind of cool stuff. If you feel like you get value out of this training in particular, smash the like button. It really helps with the algorithm, and it helps me to know that this type of content is helpful. But with all that said and all that out of the way, let's dive into this detailed training so you can start making some coin. Let's dive into the computer right now. I've got some slides that I've put together and we're going to talk through absolutely everything. So let's dive into it. All right, what is going on, everybody? We have jumped into the computer. I've got the slides here ready to go. We're going to walk through absolutely everything you need to know about affiliate marketing to become a super affiliate and grow your business with this key communication form that allows you to stay in touch with your leads, build rapport, and sell and make a hell of a lot of money. So with that said, a big welcome to my super affiliate email marketing masterclass. Before we dive in, if you don't know me and you aren't familiar with any of my content, I wanted to do a little bit of an intro. My name is Jacob Caris. I'm a full-time digital entrepreneur from Australia, and I've got a heavy focus on affiliate marketing. I've got some of my own courses and offer coaching here and there, but my main focus at this time when recording this is affiliate marketing. I've been doing it for a little over 2 years, and in that time I've made multiple six figures. I've been, lucky enough to win a bunch of awards and prizes in the affiliate community, which I'll show you in a second. But the most important part for you to know here is that email marketing has been a key part of my online business, which is why I wanted to bring this training to you today and share with you what I know about using affiliate marketing and email marketing together to get some awesome results. Now, for anybody that's a skeptic that's watching this, I wanted to share some proof, some social proof, so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. Here's a few screenshots for you, some of my affiliate marketing results, 3 different companies that I've done over 6 figures with, some of my email list numbers there, and then on the right, you can see me speaking at an event in Orlando recently that I traveled to, and then a couple of prizes that I've received. One, the ClickFunnels Dream Car in Nashville. I got on stage with Russell Brunson and got that, and then a diamond ring that I got for making a 6-figure club with another company as an affiliate. Now, with that stuff out of the way, hopefully you can kind of see that I know what I'm talking about. And why am I doing this training? Now, this is 100% free. I'm not here to pitch you on anything. This isn't leading to a pitch of any kind, so you can sit back and relax and not worry about when's the pitch coming, when's he going to start, when's the offer stack coming, when's he going to start selling to me. That's not coming. This is pure value, 100%. Affiliate marketing and building an online business has really changed the direction of my life. I used to work in a corporate job, 80 hours a week, both here in Australia and in New York as well. And I was really burnt out. I actually got really sick at the age of 27 and needed a change. And that's when my online business has given me a lot more time freedom, location freedom, and really just, the capacity to work from my laptop wherever I want in the world and make money. So I just want to give back to this community that's given so much to me and made me a lot of money along the way. Hopefully this information helps you and many others level up in their business if you take this information and study it and understand it. Watch this as many times as you need to. But more importantly, information is useless without what? Without application. You've got to go and apply this stuff to actually make it fucking work. Make you money. You've got to apply it. So that's my goal here. And then the selfish reason is that if I share as much valuable information as possible with the marketplace, I know it'll come back and help me build my brand, which is what I'm trying to do at the moment here on YouTube. So full transparency, that's why I'm doing it. Hopefully with that out of the way, we can now dive into it. So the agenda for the day, I want to give a really quick email marketing summary for any real beginners here so you can get an understanding of exactly what it is. Bit of a refresher for anybody that hasn't thought too much about email marketing recently. Then I want to answer the age-old question that seems to keep popping up at the moment is email marketing dying? Is email marketing dead? My view on it's probably slightly different from a few other people, but just think about it. Would I be doing this training if it was still dead? Or if it was dead, rather? Probably not. So we'll talk about that briefly. Then I want to get into some Autoresponder Basics. An autoresponder, if you're a complete beginner, is the software that you use in order to do email marketing. A couple of key analytical metrics. With email marketing, numbers are important, so you need to understand these metrics, and I want you to pay attention to that. Then we're going to get into actually writing some of these emails and how you can start to build out your email marketing sequences. There's kind of two core ways that I think about it, and I've learned a lot of Russell Brunson. The first is your SOAP sequence, which is really the most effective way to onboard people to your world, to your email list. And that's going to go out automatically when someone opts in. And then you've got ad hoc emails that you're going to send to people kind of here and there. And we're going to talk about a format that actually works. And then if you stick around until the very end of this training, I'm going to be revealing to you my top free and paid ways that you can start building your email list, start adding hundreds and hundreds of active people to your list. I'm not talking about buying fucking solo ads that you'll spend money on and you'll get 50% opt-in rates. Oh my God, it's so amazing. But then no one opens your fucking emails and no one clicks and no one buys. We're talking about real free and paid methods that'll get real people on your lists, that'll actually open your emails, that'll actually read your emails, that'll actually click on your links and will actually buy your stuff. Then we're going to talk about some hacks to improve your open rates and your click-through rates. There's some key metrics there that you need to know. How many people are opening, how many people are reading, how many people are clicking through. We're going to talk about some hacks that you can juice up those numbers. And then we're going to talk about the way that you make maximum money from your email list. That's what everybody wants, the dollars, the greenbacks. How do we get the maximum amount from our list? If you stick around to the very end, I'm going to reveal that to you. So let's dive in. What is email marketing for the uninitiated? We're building a list of people's email addresses that are interested in information or products in a certain niche. We're going to be operating in a certain niche as an affiliate marketer. So we're going to collect their information using a software that's called an autoresponder. It's just going to keep all of these email addresses on a list, and then we can email them whenever we want to, and we can give them value, we can give them information, we can sell to them, whatever it is. Now, there's a few ways you can build an email list. There's usually you do it by selling a product, offering something free in exchange for their information. That's probably what a lot of people do. Or if someone makes an account with you or signs up for a platform or something like that. They're the kind of main ways that you go about building an email list. And then once you've got that list, you can broadcast offers. As I said, you can broadcast offers to them. You can broadcast valuable information to build a rapport and trust and basically anything like that. The key here with an email list is that you control the traffic. Control is the key word. One more time, control. You control it. And that means you own it. And that means you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. And you can send it anywhere once it's on your email list. So it's important that you get these people on your email list, okay? Moving on. Is email marketing dying? Is email marketing dead? Now look, it's not dead. It's not dying. But it's no longer enough for it to be the only way that you communicate with people. You need to be starting to build audience in other places, and this isn't the topic of today's training, but messenger bots, retargeting audiences on YouTube, on Facebook. You need to start building audiences in other places in order to compete with the big boys. But email marketing is not dead. It has reduced in its effectiveness, yes, but there is still a lot of money to be made. It still has a place. It's still very powerful. It just can't be the only way that you communicate with people. Now, we're going to build out our email marketing skill set and use it in combination with other strategies. When you do that, that's when you become a really all-round online marketer. So for me, I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. I've got my Facebook group with a few thousand people in it. I've got my email list with thousands of people on it. I've got people in different places. I've got them on messenger bot lists. So I can communicate with them in different ways. And that's where you need to be working towards. But for today, we're talking about email marketing, which while it has come down in effectiveness a little bit, it's still a very effective platform and it still needs to be part of your arsenal. So you need to understand this stuff. So stick with me to the very end, and you need to make sure that you don't miss any of this. Now, Autoresponder, like I said, that's the software that you're going to use in order to collect all of this information, all these people's email addresses and their name and whatever else you want to collect. How I would recommend structuring it is you're going to build individual lists. You can do this in a few different ways. Different niches, definitely. So you might probably want to separate your buyers from your free leads because you want to treat those people differently. You don't want to, you don't want to oversell to your buyers because that's your most valuable type of list. Whereas your free leads, you can promote to them a little bit heavier. You still want to give them value to nurture them, but you can push them a little bit harder and kind of force them to either decide if they want to be a buyer or not. We want to see who are our buyers on these free lists. How do we get them to become buyers? Get them on that buyer list. Then we know who our most valuable email leads are. You can do different lists for promotions and launches, and you can have lists for specific products if you want to. There's a lot of ways. It really just depends how you want to organize it. But I think the key here is definitely have different lists across different niches. Otherwise, people are going to get very confused. And then I would always recommend separating your buyers from your free leads because the strategies that you apply are going to be very different in terms of how hard you promote and how hard you push to those two different groups of people. Now, an autoresponder is really just going to integrate with whatever software you're using to build your websites or your funnels, ClickFunnels, Shopify, WordPress, whatever it may be. There'll be a plugin of some kind or some kind of code that you'll put in, and then when people enter their details, it will go and push over to the autoresponder. You can also, once they're in the autoresponder, you can tag them, which means that you can put like a little, like a name tag on them based on an action they take. It'll be, Bob didn't open this email, or he did open this email. He did click on this link. He didn't click on that link. That's what a tag is. And you can kind of then send emails to people based on those tags. And then there's two main types of emails that I want you to think about. One is a follow-up series, which is preloaded into your autoresponder. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And the second is a broadcast, which you kind of just send, willy-nilly. You send it whenever you've got a valuable piece of information to send out or a random offer to promote or anything like that. They're the two types of emails I want you to think about. Nothing more, nothing less. Just the follow-up email and the broadcast email. Let's dive into some key metrics that you need to understand. These are the two that I would really focus on for now. There's definitely a lot more that you can get into to get complex, but these are the two that I want you to focus on. Open rate percentage. Now, this is purely the percentage of people that open your emails. This is the number that's come down in recent years just because people get so many emails every day. But you can still get a good open rate if you nurture your list and provide good value. I haven't got the industry standards. I should have looked them up before we dive into this training, but I think it's somewhere between about 10 and 20% is a good open rate. And obviously, the bigger your brand gets and the more rapport you build up with your people, the higher and higher that will get. But don't expect 70, 80% open rates. It's not going to happen. Even if you're getting under 10%, but you're still starting to get results and click-throughs and stuff, then that's good. Also remember too that not every person's going to open every email. So while you might be getting a 10% open rate on each email, that could be different buckets of people at different times because they resonate with different subjects and different types of content and stuff. So just keep that in mind as well. And then the second metric that you want to look at too is your click-through rate. So the percentage of people who open and click through, or the percentage of your total list that click through, depending on how you want to look at the metric. Because click-through rate's important because without them clicking through, they're not actually going to see your offer or whatever it is that you're putting in front of them, or your content that you're using to build rapport and trust and actually give them value. So they're the two that I want you to keep in mind and keep an eye on as you start doing your email marketing. Now, just quickly, I wanted to throw in my recommended software. I use Aweber. I know a lot of people use ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, and ConvertKit, and different people are going to swear by different things depending on what experiences they've had with different softwares. I've never had an issue with Aweber, but any of those four is absolutely fine, and they're all going to offer their own free trials and be slightly different costs. But an autoresponder shouldn't cost you too much, especially when you're just getting started. Okay. let's talk about the different types of email. So like I said, there's two main types. You've got a follow-up email, which is what we're going to talk about first, and then we're going to talk about broadcast emails. Now, follow-up email is something that's preloaded into your autoresponder software. It's going to be automatically sent out at predetermined intervals when someone opts in. So you might have 10 emails loaded up, ready to go, that are going to go out one day apart after someone registers to be on your email list. And then every day for 10 days on the hour, or to the minute really, from when they've opted in, they're going to get that email. You can preload as many as you want. And then what you can also do is once they get to the end of a follow-up series is you could move them on to a different list. So you could have a follow-up list who are automatically getting your follow-up emails, and then you move them onto a list that you send broadcast to. That would be if you didn't want to broadcast to people who are still going through that follow-up sequence. It really just depends on what type of content you're giving them and how you want to structure it. And you can get creative with this and really do it any way that you want. I'm going to give you kind of how I would recommend you look at it in a minute. And then the second type is broadcast emails, which is an ad hoc email that you just kind of send out, and you send it out on an ad hoc basis whenever you've got a piece of content to send out, or you've got an offer to send out, or whatever it may be. You can send this to different lists. You can send it to one list. You can send it to a segment of a list based on a tag or based on an action. And then you can track all the analytics from that broadcast, and you can actually then send another email based on actions people take from that broadcast. So you can get really creative with all this stuff. But what I wanted you to understand is the fundamentals of the fact that there's two different types of emails. You've got your initial follow-up and your broadcast. Okay, so now that you understand the two different types of emails, I want to walk you through how I think the best way to structure it. I use a very simple approach that I learned off Russell Brunson that focuses on onboarding your email subscribers when they first come on, and then they go onto a broadcast list. And I've got different lists. Not all of them comply with this, but I use this a lot, and I recommend that this is where you start. So the first thing we've got is our SOAP sequence, which is going to sound funny, but it'll make sense in a second, which is 5 emails that people automatically receive when they opt in, and we're going to talk through each of those emails. And then they're going to go onto a list that you broadcast. And sometimes I want people to get broadcast while they're going through this onboarding sequence, and sometimes I don't. So it really just depends on the list that I'm building. And you can decide once we kind of talk through what these emails look like. Okay, so the SOAP sequence. Now, this is a 5 email sequence that comes out automatically when someone opts in. As I said, I learned this from Russell Brunson. It's in his book, .com Secrets, which if you're trying to build an online business and you haven't read .com Secrets, you're crazy, and you should go and read that. It's an onboarding or an induction sequence when someone opts in. Its goal is to introduce them to you and your world, start building trust, leverages story and emotion so they can decide if they resonate with you and your message and connection. And then at the end, it makes a pitch. And then after that, they can go onto your broadcast email. So I want to walk through each of the 5 emails that is in this SOAP sequence. The reason it's called a SOAP sequence, by way of background story, is that you're going to take them on a bit of an emotional roller coaster. So it's kind of like a soap opera. That's where the name comes from. And that'll make a little bit more sense as we talk through these emails. So email 1 sets the stage. It introduces them to you and your world. It tells them who you are, what you do, what your kind of core beliefs are, what your business is all about, why they should pay attention to you, why they should look out for your emails. You can send them to an offer at this point if you want. There's kind of 2 strategies here. You can either keep sending them back to an offer all through these 5 emails, or as Russell recommends, you don't really push until that last email in this SOAP sequence. There's kind of 2 ways that you can do it. And then the most important thing here is that at the end of this email, we open a loop and we lead them into what they're going to receive tomorrow with a hook and a promise of more value and then some curiosity. Because what we want to do is, it's a lot easier to get people to open your first email, generally because they're looking for whatever it is you've promised them. When they visit your opt-in page, you promised them a free report or a free training or a free video or a coupon or something. So generally your open rates on that first email are going to be a lot higher. And then what we need to make sure we do is we really not only massively over deliver with the value, but we hook them to come back and read the next email. Okay, so what you want to do is open a loop and say, tomorrow I'm gonna tell you this amazing story, or tomorrow I'm gonna give you this huge bit of value, or just some piece of curiosity that's gonna hook them in to this next email. When you see the next email, it'll make kind of more sense about what you should use in this hook. So the second email Day one, you've kind of introduced them to who you are in your world and why they should be paying attention to you, and you've given them that first piece of value, and hopefully you've opened the loop. Day two is called the high drama day. Now, the key to selling anything is you've got to give people an epiphany. You've got to give them an epiphany which bridges them from where they are now to a state of going, I need this product and I understand why I need it, or I'm just so emotional about it that I just have to buy it. Right? That epiphany has to happen. And if you're selling it, chances are you've had an epiphany about why that solution is the best solution, right? And that is the best way to allow other people to experience this epiphany, is to share with them how you had the epiphany. How did your solution fix the problem that you've got, or did it fix this problem for somebody else? And this all starts in this high drama email. You're going to describe to them the pain, the discomforts, the problems that existed for the big issue that your niche faces, what it was like before for you or the main character, before they found the solution, right? So, and that's eventually going to be your product. So a good product will solve a big problem, right? It's a solution to a problem. So in this high drama email, we're really getting people to sit with their pain and their discomfort that we've either felt or somebody else has felt. You're really pushing that home, because without discomfort and without pain, it's really hard to sell them on a solution to their problem. And so here it's really important to understand the niche that you're in. What is the problem that faces them? And then obviously it's really important that your product solves that problem for them. So you need to tell a bit of a high drama story about what life was like for you or your main character in the sequence, if you're writing it on behalf of somebody else, what it was like before they found this solution, what it was like when they sat with that product, or when you with that problem, or when you sat with that problem. Again, at this point, you can lead back to the offer if you want to, or you can kind of put that off until the end. And then once again, we need to open that loop. And here we're doing that by promising that in the next email, we're going to reveal the secrets that helped you overcome this high drama situation, that helped you solve this problem. And this is going to lead into the epiphany email. You're going to share your epiphany with them, or the epiphany of your main character. You're going to share with them what light bulb moment you had that made you realize that this was the solution. That this solution, which is the product you're going to pitch to them eventually, what made it all click for you, and you want them to relate to that so they can have that same epiphany. You need to highlight why everything is so great now that the problem is fixed, and why your product, which is the solution, is the key to making all that happen. And the key here is to really vividly describe the transformation. People that make big money don't sell products, they sell transformations, okay? And so you need to describe that transformation from pain and discomfort, where you or your character was now, to happy place, right? Again, you can, at this point, you can send them to the offer, or what Russell recommends here and what works well is keep that loop open, and we're going to send them to a benefits email, but it's going to be more like hidden benefits, things that they probably didn't already realize. And that's day 4, is the hidden benefits email. Explain the benefits of the product that people may not know about. People generally have preconceived ideas about everything. You want to debunk some myths and misconceptions, hopefully overcome some objections as to why the solution won't work for them, and highlight some hidden benefits which will really help overcome those objections. Once more, you can send them back to the offer, or you can roll into a one-time special offer on the last day, which is email 5, where you're going to create some urgency, a call to action, tell them you've got 7 days to get access at this price, or it's going away today, or whatever it may be. Give them the urgency and the call to action in this email, and then that wraps up the SOAP sequence, and you can push them over onto a broadcast list where they can start receiving daily or regular kind of ad hoc emails. And this is how we go about doing that. It's called a Seinfeld sequence. Again, something I learned from Russell. And you're going to develop your own story here. The reason it's called Seinfeld is because generally these emails aren't about too much in particular. They're just there to push you to an offer or to push you to a piece of valuable information. There's not too much structure. And it's just a bit of a story or a link to a new piece of content or an offer or an affiliate product. And then you just kind of build a story or a little bit of a message around it, which is like, he said, Seinfeld was a show about nothing, and each episode really, there wasn't much to it. And that's how he kind of views sending out his broadcast emails. Obviously, it's a massive oversimplification. The key here is just really just to be regularly sending out broadcast emails that are sharing stories that build rapport and trust, sending out links to new content, which is sharing value, making offers, promoting affiliate products, whatever it may be. The key here is tell stories, build trust, build rapport, give them value through your content, and then make a pitch. That's really the whole email marketing sequence. Test out some short form and some long form. I generally lean more towards short form. I feel like email marketing is getting tougher, as I said off the top, and it's hard to get people to read long emails. So I generally keep mine shorter because I feel like it gets them to that point that I want them to click sooner. So they're more likely to actually get there. And then do a bunch of testing. Test what gets better open rates for you, what gets better click-through rates in terms of short subject lines, long subject lines, long emails, short emails, test all that, your mixture of value versus offers, and note what is most effective. Everyone's going to be different here. There's some general rules of thumb, but you really need to test out what works best with your audience. So with that said, how do we actually go build a fucking email list? What do we do? How do we do that? Now, this is my strategy that I would recommend for anybody getting started or anybody that might have a few lists coming in. Might be building a list from a few sources, but it's like trickling. And if you've watched any of the other content on my channel, you're going to start to see a theme. But I recommend that you pick one platform and really, really focus on it. Start putting out content in a niche that you are passionate about on a certain platform and use that to build your list. Master that platform and the leads are going to start to come in a lot faster because you're not trying to pull people from all different directions. You're going to choose one platform that plays to your strengths, and because it's in a niche that you're passionate about, it's a path of least resistance. It's going to happen a lot easier. Then all you have to do is in some of your content, give a call to action to something valuable for free, and then direct them to a landing page. Every time you release a new piece of content, you're going to drop an email to them all and say, hey, through that broadcast list that we spoke about, hey, I just released a new piece of content, new post on Instagram, new YouTube video, which is what I do with my list, new blog post, which is what I've done in the past, or a Facebook group or whatever it may be. Every time you release a new piece of content, you're going to push them back to your platform, which is going to get your content more exposure. They're going to get exposed to your offers again and all that kind of stuff. Now, what I would generally recommend is if there's a way that you can monetize immediately, go about doing it because it's immediately going to segregate that buyer and that free, like the freebie seeker list. If you can do that immediately, that's great. And then every few emails, try and offer some type of pitch. Now, I made a post about this recently in my Facebook group. What a lot of people do is they just pitch. And it just burns out the list and it really destroys the effectiveness. So what I recommend to my group is if that is the case, stop pitching, go back to a massive value drive, and just give them content. You're going to see your open rate start to pick up again. You're going to see your click-through rate start to pick up again. And then start to trickle the offers back in, but keep it nice and balanced. Moderation is the key here. Okay, now if you've actually got some money to spend and you've got experience running ads, great way to start building an email list for your affiliate marketing business in particular is running lead conversion campaigns on Facebook or Instagram to build a list. If the affiliate product that you're promoting allows you to get your pixel onto their landing page, then you can run some purchase campaigns, but a lot of people won't do that. If you can, then you should split test purchase campaigns versus lead conversion campaigns. When you're running paid ads, you definitely want to be trying to monetize it ASAP to build what's called an SLO, a self-liquidating offer. And if you can hit on this and grow your list for free, you're absolutely golden because then you can scale and essentially get emails absolutely free. A great way that's kind of like a hybrid here is rather than building a list through cold traffic is retargeting people that have viewed your free content. Either they've viewed videos on a Facebook page or on a YouTube channel, or they've seen your website. You can retarget those people, and then it's kind of a warm audience. That's a good way to get your feet wet and start building your list with paid traffic, but with people who already know you, having seen your content. Okay, now some tricks and hacks to improve your open rates and your click-through rates. Remember I said those are two key metrics, so I wanted to share with you some things that you can do to improve those numbers. Now, a longer subject line that's got more detail, what it's going to do is it's going to lower your open rate, but it's going to generally give you a higher click-through rate. And that's because the people that are going into the email have got a clearer idea about what they're about to be confronted with, which means that you're narrowing the audience of people that will actually open it, but then there's no surprises when they get in there, so more people are actually going to click through. The inverse of this is a shorter subject line that's more vague and more curiosity based is going to get you a higher open rate because you're going to attract a broader attention, but it's going to get you a lower click-through rate because people might get in there and it wasn't what they expected. Okay, so generally you want to do a mixture of these and test out what works best for you. Test out what works best for your content, test out what works best for your offers, and you'll start to see kind of what your list and what your audience responds best to. Now, the other thing you can do as well is ask your leads to actually respond to emails. And what this does, this massively improves your deliverability. Because a lot of people use Gmail and you've got the promotions tab and stuff there now. If they actually respond to one of your emails, it's assigned to the email provider that this is trustworthy. You can get them to answer questions. You can get them to confirm receipt. Generally, it's something good to do in the first few emails or even the first one. Just say, hey, can you respond and let me know that you got it? Or you can send out broadcasts and ask one specific question and say, hey, respond and I'll get back to you. And then if you actually help them out and respond, it's going to be a massive way to build rapport. So those are just two tricks you can use to bump up open rates, bump up click-through rates, and to improve your deliverability as well is if you actually get them to respond to you and you can start communication, which can actually improve your lead value as well because they're going to go, oh, this person's real. They're not just using an autoresponder all the time, all that kind of stuff. And then the very last point that I wanted to cover off is how to get your maximum value from your email list. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. And you've probably picked up as kind of a constant tone through this training is please use a value first focus. Gary Vee wrote a book that's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And that means jab with value, jab with value, jab with value, and then right hook is you're asking for the sale. And what you want to do really is give people so much value that the sale is a no-brainer. Right? When I launched my first course, I'd put so much value into my Facebook group. I had people that bought without even watching the sales video. They just went straight to the order form and ordered because of the rapport that I built with all the value that I put into the group. And it's the exact same on email. If you build a real relationship through your emails and your content, ask them what they want to see, and then you actually provide it, you're going to build huge trust and rapport, and that's how you build a real value-first approach. The power of story is massive in developing a connection, and that's really how you drive buyer epiphanies as well. The key to telling a good story, just as a side note, is, and this kind of came through in what I was explaining before, is explain what it was like before something happened, then what happened, what was the transformation that happened, and then what it's like now. In any story, follow those three parts, right? Let's say you lost 20 pounds using the keto diet. I was fat, I was overweight, no one found me attractive, I had no energy. And then I found the keto diet. I found a guide who gave me the keto diet, or I read an ebook about the keto diet and I lost 20 pounds. And then you describe what it's like now. It's amazing. I can pick up chicks all the time. I've got so much energy. I'm going to the gym 7 days a week. I'm loving life. I'm running 10 miles a day, whatever it may be. Describe it with detail what it was like before, what happened, which is going to be generally your product solution, and then what it's like now, and that will help people have that epiphany. And then, like I said, don't sell every day. Give them value, right? Give them massive value, and that's going to make your sale easier when you do make it. And then one other thing as well is you can actually upload your email list into Facebook and then run ads to those people on Facebook and Instagram. So if you've got a particular offer you want to put in front of your email list, but like I said, you're only getting like a 10 to 20% open rate, upload that list and then run an ad to them. And then that way you can be assured that you're actually going to get in front of them as long as they've got Facebook or Instagram, which 90% of people will. That is it. I really appreciate you watching this training. I really hope you got some value from it. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that like button. 2 reasons. It massively helps the algorithm. So it helps this video get out to more people. It helps my channel get out to more people. So I'd really appreciate that. And then it lets me know too that people like this type of content. If you drop a comment, let me know what you learned. Let me know what you want to go and implement. More importantly, if you've got any questions about anything that we went through, drop them below. And then if you haven't already subscribed, click that big red button and then click the little bell icon so you get notified every time I drop new videos. I've got a lot of these longer form training sessions coming that I want to do to teach people the fundamentals of how to be successful with affiliate marketing. I've got a huge list of trainings that I want to put out. So if you want to make sure you don't miss any of those, subscribe and turn on the bell notification. And if you've got any particular trainings you want me to do, put that in the comments as well. And I'll be sure to include those and get to them at some point in the near future. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.